Jammerz, as amazing as the CPT is, there's something else just as special going on right now, and that is none other than Street Fighter League. So what I want to talk to you about today is the best teams, the best Street Fighter League teams worldwide. You guys are bougie over there in Europe, so you're not even telling us which your teams are yet, keeping everything tight-lipped. So I suppose for now, we're going to be talking about just Street Fighter League United States and Street Fighter League Japan. Jammerz, I'm gonna first make a guess though. I think one of the teams is F-Word Jammerz Logan. Facts or cap?
I hate using the word, but I'm gonna use it this time. Cap. I hate using the word.
It's a victory that I got you to say that alone. It's a victory that I got you to say that alone, to be honest.
I use the word, but cap, definitely.
Okay, so you know, but you guys are tight-lipped right now. But United States has not been, Japan has not been. Of course, Japan is actually underway. We're already seeing their matches live.
Yeah.
So I guess I will start with the American side of things.
Please.
I gotta say, to me, and we're gonna talk to one of these players tomorrow, but I gotta say Team Endemic, man.
Okay.
Team Endemic, for those who don't know, they have Shine, the team captain of Endemic. They have Gamer B, long-standing, amazing player, and remember that legendary grand finals that my man's had with Momoshi. Come on, we were all raised on that pretty much. And then, finally, we have Knuckle Do Dang returning to Street Fighter League. We're gonna talk about that. Returning to Street Fighter League, returning to Street Fighter in general, and Adam, who I believe to be the best player in the world, but everybody believes to at least be in the conversation, just recently runner-up at EVO and just smoking everything over here in the United States. That team is out of this world, and I don't really think that they have too much of a weakness. Only 3 people play at a time, by the way, Jammerz. I don't know how you really stop them.
It's difficult because at least, hopefully, when the episodes start to air and we see it, there's going to be a healthy rotation because I can't imagine one of those players sitting out for more than a week or more than a match, because it's like, come on, that is top quality there. One of the best players in the world, Knuckle Dudang. You might class him as a dark horse in this regard because he might be a little bit rusty, but always remember, form is temporary, class is permanent. Come on,
Jammerz.
He could be getting a surprise result or two for Team Endemic this year. So I think that was a very good choice. And it's just great to have him back.
I'm not even going to, see, to me, it wouldn't even be a surprise result just because, you know, I've lived with this guy and I always bring up this story. There was this time around the EVO Japan at the time, and he wanted to go over there with his wife at that time, you know, his fiance. He wanted to go over there more so as like a vacation. Dude had not been playing Street Fighter for months, and I remember I used to be so annoyed because I'm grinding it out every single day, just hustling, sweating, and whenever he would just feel like playing some Street Fighter, he'd come over there and he'd kind of smoke me a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, he used to piss me off. I got my wins here and there, but for the most part, he used to piss me off. And I'm like, man, how is this guy so good? And then he goes over to EVO Japan. I'm thinking it's just me though. Like, oh man, what am I doing wrong? He goes over to EVO Japan and beats a lot of the best players in the world, including Tokido, and makes top 8 on no practice. As you said, man, class is just permanent. Like, how long do you think Daigo would have to stop playing fighting games before he's not Daigo anymore, skill-wise? You know, can it really be, if Daigo stops playing Street Fighter 5 for a year, is the viewer at home comfortable saying, oh man, now I'll be able to take Daigo when he comes? No, it's not happening. There's a certain level. Yeah, there's certain levels you get to. And we can't just bring up Dude without also bringing up Adam, where right now he's the most informed player in the world outside of, I guess maybe you can say Kawano. Him, Kawano are the most informed players. I personally would say Adam is number 1, but that's just splitting hairs at that point. So this team is actually insane. One of the most ridiculously constructed Street Fighter League teams to date.
Oh, it's interesting that you bring up most constructed teams. One of my picks, I've got several picks. This was very tough when you told me about this. One of the teams I got to pick is Team Nasser, right?
Nasser Bandits.
Listen, they're going to be doing work because here's the thing, right? For those of you who don't know, the team this season is comprised of Big Bird, Angry Bird, Mena, and Kaba. Let me tell you something. Rob, you probably know this off by heart. I had to look this one up. Any team that Big Bird and Angry Bird are on, it's a surefire way to the playoffs. Ask Problem X. are Samurai.
Yep.
Every time NASA have come there and Big Bird and Angry Bird are on form and they're playing, they're going to be making the playoffs. They might even win the season. So I've got those guys there. And this is it. Their philosophy and their work ethic, especially having Mena next to them now and Cabba next to them now, that is second to none. So I can see them doing a bit of damage this year as well in this season for Street Fighter League. Another pick I've got, just quickly, is UYU. It's a bit weird. I got UYU, but hear me out, because I know there's a little bit of controversy with the whole UYU thing, because they were the first team announced. The thing is, I think UYU, Rob, has got a strong balance of solidity and trickery, right? The solidity is in DCQ and NL. The trickery is with Xian and Oil King. Oil King can pick Rashid V Skill 2 and do aerial footsies. And Xian, well, if you don't know how Steph's V Trigger 2 work, good luck. That's it. And if they need solid, and remember, there's a new format this year for Street Fighter League. If they need solid, guaranteed points, put on NL or DCQ every week. Guaranteed those points.
For those who don't know, there is a new format on Street Fighter League. So there's 4 players on each team, and only 3 play at a time. So, and it's a point system instead of just who wins the overall team battle. So you think that should even influence their decision making as to who they show up, who they throw up there?
I think it's a big deal. So, like, again, on the US side of things, those have got to be some of my picks. I've got to give a special shout outs to Team Panda as well, because you know this is a team format. Communication goes a long way. And they're all friends on Team Panda.
Yeah, they literally have the most.
Who else you got there?
Kami.
Kami.
And JB.
Yeah, listen, they're all friends. They'll talk, they'll practice, they'll do the business. And if you lack communication in team environment or team-based tournaments like this, you're kind of screwed. So don't count out Panda for a minute in this season, you know?
We got to move on from Street Fighter League US to make sure that we give some love to Street Fighter League Japan. These teams are ridiculous. I got 2 picks for my favorite Street Fighter League Japan teams. The first one is going to be FAV.
Okay.
With, of course, they won, if I'm not mistaken, they actually won last year too. This team actually took it all. And that is, of course, headed by none other than Tokido, arguably the GOAT of fighting games, let alone just Street Fighter. He is in the conversation. But you got Tokido, you got Sako, Bonchan, and then you have Torimeshi. If you say, hey, I need a team to go win this next match, and if they win it, I get $1 million, and that's the team that you get, you're gonna be pretty confident and pretty happy with yourself. You're damn near already counting the money.
Hold on, listen. This is interesting. I'll give you something interesting, right? So look, obviously the team's got 2 Evo champions. Tokido 2017, Bonchan 2019. Sako's won multiple premieres. He's just an amazing, talented player, right? However, Torimeshi, don't count him out, because, again, Dalsim is arguably the best in the game and one of the best in the game. Having a Dalsim on your team in a team environment is a very big deal. And the thing is, they can put him on when they feel, you know what? You can get that experience, but also the other guy's got to deal with you. And he is one of the strongest Dalsim players. There's like 4 or 5 of them. I call him a Dalsim cult at this point. There's 4 or 5 of them that are like Ultimate Grandmaster, Warlord. They're grinding this game to a T. And I think he plays V-Trigger 2, so he's got a very unique style. That can be tricky for a lot of the Japanese community in SFL to deal with, you know? So I think that whole team has got a very exceptional balance to them, Rob.
Yeah, I 100% agree. For you, what's your first, I guess, Street Fighter League Japan team?
So I did that FAV Gaming like you, but the other team I had to pick was Good 8 Squad. Gachiku, Kawano, Dogura. I'm trying to remember the last.
Do they have Pugera on there?
I think, yes, it was Pugera. And it's like, look, that team, they made it to the finals last year, right? Only losing to FAV Gaming. And like their just team composition, the character diversity, I wouldn't even say it's a surprise factor, but it's how people, they can show up on the day and they'll give you the results you want. I can see them going to the playoffs. Heck, I can actually see them making the finals this year again for Street Fighter League Japan. So Good 8 Squad is there. And I know there's like 8 teams in Street Fighter League Japan. We could talk about each and every one of them in absolute detail, Rob. But those 2 teams for me, FAV and Good 8 Squad, I think they're at the top for me.
I do want to make sure I give one more shout out before we get off this subject, to shout out Shinobism, of course, headed by none other than Momochi, one of the Japanese fighting game gods. But even outside of that, they have my man's Johnny, they have Yamaguchi, and Fujimura, that team does not drop off at any point. It's going to be like pulling teeth to try to get team battles off of them. So I can't wait to see how they finish this season.